this Friday live stream. Talk about all these little chords we're doing today. Welcome to this Friday live stream, everybody. So today I want to talk about, I was playing some chords in the beginning, and I want to tell you all about these little movements I'm doing in between these chords, right? So it's not just this, as an addendum to, I have my guitar tuned down a half step. So if you're following along, just have your guitar tuned down a half step as well. Also, this tuner looks ugly. So I'm going to show you all these little in-between movements I'm doing, so I wanted to give you guys a framework, the simplest framework I know, which would be like a G chord, a G shape, or since we're tuned down half step, it's a G flat, but this G position right here, just to a C, or in our case, B, since we're tuned down a half step, right? So those are going to be our two chords we're dealing with, and this is for intermediate or advanced guitar players. So because the stuff is going to get a little more complicated than this. So if this is hard for you, just kind of follow along and come back to this live stream in a bit. But those are the two shapes we're dealing with, right? But there's so much fun movement we can get that gives these two chords more life, right? All this fun, all that stuff. Right? Okay, so I want to show you guys how to do that. So happy Friday, everybody. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Los Angeles, California. You guys are just popping in. I'm sure it's after work, so welcome. Enjoy yourself. Alright, so here's the first thing I'm going to show you guys. If we're just dealing with these two chords, here is a fun movement you can do. So instead of playing this big old clunky chord right here, just break it down and play these three notes. Just, instead of playing all 6 strings, just play the D, the G, and the B. Just play those 3 strings. Alright? And now we have this extra pinky, right? The reason we're doing that is now we have this guy that's free. And this little guy's going to do a lot of work for us, okay? So here's one thing we can do. We can do a little hammer on, or we can use him to play the G string 4th fret. That's a nice little movement. So if we're playing like this, right? That little movement is super musical. So that's our first thing we're going to do. What's up, breadcrumbs? So that's a nice, beautiful little... So if you guys have your guitar, try that out. And the cool thing about that shape is you can also play it up here for the C. That C shape on the 8th fret. It's very useful. That little pinky goes a long way, all right? So that's one thing we can do. But that's just scratching the surface. I don't know if you guys have ever had Topo Chico, but this stuff is so good. It is, I'm just hooked on it. And no, this channel is not affiliated at all with Topo Chico. I'm not getting any money from them. Spending all my money on their delicious, delicious drinks. All right, so we have that little pinky movement that we can move around. So that's step one. So here's another really, really fun one that I use all the time. It sounds like this, and then I'll break down what's happening. Sounds complicated, right? This is kind of a Jimi Hendrix style move that I've totally adopted because it rocks. So what you do, you have your first finger, 3rd fret, and you use your ring finger, slide from the 5th fret up to the 7th fret, and you have this little like double stop right here. So on the A and D string respectively, you're playing the 5th fret, and then you do this little hammer on the 7th fret D string using your ring finger. So like this note's also ringing out. That's what gives it so much musicality and like soul, honestly. And then you come back down by doing something like that, which is 5, 7, 5 on the low E string. So 5, 7, so 5, 7, 5 on that A string, but you like let this ring finger keep ringing, you know? And it sounds like this really slow. Now, this shape you can kind of take to the bank because you can do also, you can go up here. Right? Same shape, same idea for that C. Right? That is a super musical way to get around. And so instead of doing it maybe up here, you can also do it down here, right? For that C. And it's literally the exact same as the lower string set. Lower string set. You just move everything down this way. Right? So let's try to implement some of these, those 2 ideas I gave you. This is idea 1, right? Alrighty, we got some movement. Okay. Now this is idea 1. And then this is going to be idea 2 right up here. And then idea 1. Idea 1. Now we're not going to do either of them. We're just going to play that chord. Idea 2. Idea 1. Right? So it sounds a lot more pretty. There's a lot more movement to playing just this chord and then just this chord. All right, so I got some more nuggets for you. This third little nugget It's very similar to idea one. So we're gonna have this shape, right, instead of this big old clunky shape. And we're gonna have our pinky free. And we have, we were doing this before on the G string. Now I wanna use the B string. What I'm doing is it's kind of hard to see probably, but I'll show you exactly. I'm using, on the B string, I'm plucking on the 5th fret, hammer on, pull off. That's what it sounds like. So that's a really nice one. That's our third idea, okay? And we can also do it up here, right? So that's C. So let's try to mix and match idea one and idea three. That's idea one. Idea three. Idea one. Idea three. Idea one. Now idea two. Idea three. Idea one. Right? You see how we can start mixing and matching, and with these three ideas you can literally take these two simple chords and take them to the moon, right? You can take them and make them super soulful, and the motion in between the chords is really where a lot of magic happens in the guitar, right? Because otherwise it's just really, really boring to listen to, just playing these two chords. So a lot of this movement, stuff like Jimi Hendrix will do, you know, a lot of soul players will do it. It's very, very common in country too, these kind of movements. So again, like what we're about here today, Soulful Guitar Lessons, is, you know, playing soulfully doesn't necessarily just mean soul music, right? Doesn't just mean Marvin Gaye. I mean, this stuff, there are soulful players, people that play from their heart in all different genres, and that's what we're gonna turn everybody into here today. Like, is anybody that's watching, it's just we're taking simple kind of musical ideas and having them be meaningful, having them have purpose, and having them have depth or soul. That's what we're doing. I'm gonna check the chat real quick because I realize I have neglected it until now. So let me check it out. Breadcrumbs says, "What's up?" He says, "How would you use triads to generate movement over comping or soloing? Kind of like Isaiah Sharkey or something from Betray My Heart." We can definitely do that at some point. What I'm not going to get into like what he would do specifically. First of all, Isaiah Sharkey, great, amazing, one of the best guitar players on the planet. But I can tell you that I'm kind of doing my own thing here, and trying to give you guys like my viewpoint rather than you know, if he has his own channel, I'm sure you could ask him. But as far as like doing comping and triads, a lot of this stuff that I'm covering, even like in today's lesson, is very, very useful for chord soloing and that kind of thing. So it's not to ignore your question at all. I'm just, yeah, he's a monster player, and yeah, I couldn't do what he does. So I do what I do, you know. But at some point, you know, we can go over, I'll do a masterclass on chord soloing, and that kind of stuff is super, super fun. And it's really, really great. A lot of today's class is essentially chord soloing. You could take these ideas and turn them into chord solo ideas, right? You know, a lot of this stuff, once it gets stretched, right? This is just simple movements. G to C, but doing a lot of approach notes, right? What else do we got here? We got anybody else in the chat? If you guys are new or you guys watching, say what's up. Would love to hear from you guys. Again, so if you are still, if you kind of just popping in right now, I was going over movements within chords. So it's not just the chords themselves, right? It's not just this bar chord and this bar chord. It's not just this bar chord and this bar chord. There's stuff we can do in between the chords that can give your playing depth, it can give it soul, and it can be very, very fun and interesting, not just for the player, but for the listener. If you guys are still tuning in, I got some more for you. So here is the fourth idea. So here was our third, I'm gonna go through it, just recap real quick. So here was our first idea. I was like, okay, so don't do this whole block chord, do something like this, these 3 notes, and use your pinky on the G string. Our second idea was this, right, that is a monster, because you can do a lot of stuff with that, and then you can move it all the way up here. And then our third idea was this, which is the same as the first idea, but we're using our pinky on the B string. So I'm going to go over another idea, which is if we're playing this shape. And by the way, if you guys are watching this, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, and if you aren't a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. So on this shape, I'm going to use my pinky right here for the B string, 6th fret. Sometimes I gotta think about the numbers. I feel like I'm in algebra class. So that's what I'm doing. Right? So that's the fourth idea, right? It could be up here. That's a super pretty sound. That kind of reminds me of some Leon Bridges, River. Like take me to your river, I wanna go. Super soulful, folky R&B artist. So that's our fourth idea. So try that out. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Sonia says, any tips on what to do when you're playing hammering on the high strings and making sure you land on the right string without looking? Yeah, so if I'm understanding the question correctly, you want to make sure that you're kind of hammering on the right notes and not doing anything weird, I guess, like not hitting the incorrect notes. And so the way I think of it, I'm just rereading the question to make sure I understand it. Sonny, you're saying your finger is burning on that fourth idea. I got more ideas, so if you guys are still sticking around, I got more, and they're gonna be coming in a sec. So what I like to do is just make sure I'm very, very light with my playing. So notice, like, I don't know if you can tell through this recording, but like I am definitely not digging in. It's not very hard. It's very, very gentle playing. Another thing, like, to make sure I'm hitting the quote-unquote right notes, I just kind of visualize my chord, right? I visualize this chord, and I visualize this chord, or this chord, right? And I try to stay within the chord idea. Notice I'm not like moving down here or moving up here when I'm playing this chord, right? right, so here is our fifth. I hope I answered that question. I hope that makes sense. Here is our fifth idea. So just to recap, here was our first idea, a little G string. Here was our second idea. Here's our third idea. Now I'm getting. No, that was our fourth idea. Oh yeah, this is our third idea. Then here's our fourth idea. And here is our fifth idea. I almost got tripped up there. I almost got lost in my own sauce there. So here's our fifth idea. You guessed it. Using your pinky, right? Because we have this digit that's free. And this is a super Hendrixy thing to do. Same movement as movement 3, but we're just using it on the high E string. It sounds like that. And we can really mix and match all these 5 variations now that we've had. So what I'm doing is, just to isolate it, I'm plucking, hammer on to the 5th fret, and pull off. Hammer on, pull off. Now let's cycle through these 5 ideas, and I'm going to call them out what I'm using in a musical sense so that you guys can just see how to do it. So here's idea 1. Idea 4. Idea 5, idea 4, idea 4, idea 4, idea 1, idea 5, 3. And you see how this works. That was idea 2. So now we're getting all these fun little chord movements within just this simple boom. It doesn't have to be so simple, right? I mean, the ideas are simple, right? These variations are simple, but they're just like little tweaks that pique the listener's ear. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. So those are our 5 ideas and how to use them musically within just a simple context, right? We're taking 2 chords and really adding spice to them. Breadcrumbs is saying, do you know how to use different triad inversions to go with each other? Yes, I do. So I have a whole video actually on it. It literally talks about triads. So if you want to check that out, but I don't want to leave you stranded. You don't have to exit out of this live stream. But I'll show you. Yeah, it would sound like this. And this is what I did on my video as well. It sounds, say you're in the key of, well, I don't know, the same key we've been in the whole live stream. So it would sound like this. You know, you're doing stuff like this. You know, and you're making it musical though at some point. You know? But yeah, all these triad movements are choir, a 3-part harmony. And how to tie them all together is, it's a thing that takes a lot of time, so don't get discouraged. I'm going to be putting out more videos on it, but the way I would practice it is literally just find, here's my triad, like a major triad, just on that top three string sets. Here's right. Those are my 3 inversions, and I would just practice that in its simplest form. Just practice going up and down. Once you feel comfortable, then you do it on the next string set, right? And then the next string set. And then finally the lowest one, right? Right, and then there's ways we can, that I'll get into in the future to make it more musical, to, create lines and create colors. So, yeah, I hope that was helpful. If you guys are just tuning in, or if you're just popping in after work, probably happy hour, wherever you are, or maybe it's dinner time, I don't know. But feel free to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are interested in learning more on how to play more soulfully, I have a free masterclass in the description. Goes over all this fun stuff, plus a bunch more stuff that I can't get into with graphics and details and that kind of thing. So if you are interested in learning how more about this style of playing, check out the free masterclass in the description. Sonia in the chat was saying, love this. Seems like the second idea only works on the 1 chord. Am I thinking about it right? No. So the second idea, this idea, works also on the 4 chord. Check it out. Or, right down here. Right? So it works for... So here'd be the second idea. Okay. 4th idea. That's the second idea. Second idea. Back to the 4th idea. Right? Does that make sense? So you can use it. You can use that that idea all over. And once you guys have that second idea, it comes up a lot of time. It comes up a lot in music. There's a song called "Waiting for Tomorrow" by Jimi Hendrix. It uses these concepts, and it's not just Jimmy, it's everybody, So, Breadcrumbs was saying, there's an exercise I do while practicing triads. I play a triad, and I voice lead the triads in the circle of 4ths. So, if C major was in root position, I turn it into the shape of a second inversion, because that's F. Okay, so you're saying you do something like this. Something like this. So that's a great way to do it. A lot of the triad stuff, if you look at them, how it relates to everything, if I was doing 1, 4, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5, 1. You can do that for everything. There'll be videos on this, trust me. We're just scratching the surface on that. Sonia was saying, you love the way it sounds. It has a country or rock feel to me. Would you use it in R&B or gospel? Interested in how it may sound? Yes, I would absolutely use it in R&B and gospel. As far so if you're referring to this something like, I'm just trying to think in change modes real quick. So I probably would vary it. I would tweak it just slightly. Instead of it being like, I might just do something like this. You know? And trying to think of a good song example, because I know I'm stuck. I've been playing, G flat to B for the past half an hour here, so I'm stuck in that mode. Maybe I'll hop on Spotifizzle, and get some inspiration. Let me find a song. Well, anyways, something that's coming to mind real quick is that old Sam Cooke song. Kind of like a gospel-y sound. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, that kind. Bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me. Something like that. That's kind of, I do something like that. Right? Idea 4. Idea 4. And then it got it. Or if it was like, I know it was the blood, you could do something like that. What's up, Ruben? I hope that was helpful. Or another example. Let me try to dig in my what key are we in now? So. So on and so forth. Yeah, it's definitely it's like a passing idea, exactly. And maybe that took me way too many minutes to explain. So thanks for bearing with me. But yeah, it's a total passing idea. It's just rather than just sticking on that one chord. It's super useful. these are the ideas. These 5 ideas, very useful in rock, country, or just like anything you want to play soulfully. So R&B, funk. Funk, it's really, really fun. You know, key of like D flat, or 5th position. I'll use idea too. Kind of like using it as a passing. Yes, exactly. These ideas definitely give your playing soul. That's the fun. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to sign off for the day, get my Friday going. But if this has been useful to you, please give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe. Every Wednesday at 10 a.m. we do these live streams, and today I just kind of popped on as a bonus. I'm kind of testing out whether weekends work better for people, so you can kind of let me know also in the comments if these times work better for you, or if there would be a time that would work for you. And yeah, I have a free masterclass in the description if you guys are interested in learning more about this soulful kind of playing. It's, I've spent a lot of time on it, and it's really, really like a cool way to dive into some of these theories and these concepts that I don't really like have the camera angles, and I don't have the graphics popping up right now. So it's a cool little experience. So if you guys are interested in playing more soulfully, check that out as well. It's in the description. I'm going to sign off for the day, get my Friday evening going, maybe drink a couple more of these Topo Chicos. And no, again, we're not sponsored by Topo Chico. I just think they're the most delicious things ever. But yeah, today we covered these 5 little chords. We covered simple chords and then 5 ideas to give these chords soul, to give these chords color, emotion, feeling. And these ideas they're simple, right? But they placed in the right spot, it can really, really take your playing from boring, mundane to absolutely like just incredible. And this is what everybody does. Doesn't matter the genre, right? You hear people like Jimi Hendrix or Leon Bridges or Spanky Alford or whoever, Joe Pass. A lot of people are using these shapes, and these are the greatest guitar players. And it's no wonder, is because this is the recipe. These movements are how the guitar works. It's just ergonomically how it works. And yeah, just so much soul in these little movements. So I hope these have been useful. Let me know in the comments, and I'm gonna sign off for the day. So thank you all very much, and I'll talk to you soon.